I should have dropped Latin long before I invested so much time into it. Wouldn't I be happier if I've chosen differently? I actually regret choosing music over art. Music doesn't bring me anything with architecture. Why didn't I inform myself better before choosing my studies? These kinds of thoughts came to my mind often. Sometimes they always suffocated me with the force of the past and with the impossibility to turn back time and to rethink these decisions once again and go on a different path. Do something different or don't do a thing. I'm talking about regrets. According to the internet, the omniscient internet, it says the definition of regret is it is a feeling of sadness or disappointment over something one has done. And everybody has them, I guess. There's a point in life, maybe your 20s, maybe later, when you lived through enough, made decisions that some of them are starting to be a part of the things that you've chosen wrongly, chosen too late, too early, too impulsively. This is a part of what our lives, when we bite on it every single time we rethink something of these things, we get that bitter taste of regret. I've been regretting so many things already, hating myself for the decisions that I made and hating myself for thinking like this. But hate isn't really the right way to go. And already without hate, it is not easy to paint our decisions that we think about as regrets with color. So what if we chose to perceive them differently? What if we see these miscalculations as something positive in our lives? Maybe bad decisions really lead to good stories, ones worth telling. And who doesn't like to tell stories? Interesting ones. New encounters, resolve problems, lifelong experiences, or new friendships, lessons incomparable to anything else. What if we really chose to see these bad decisions as life lessons, as part of the learning process of being a human? If I choose this perspective over and over again every day, there's a chance to get rid of that bitterness that nobody really wants to carry in their backpack. But is it an easy task? I guess not. Even being self-conscious about this, it's something I just started learning, and the time for that is definitely now. Because waiting for better times and for times that we're not gonna regret anything and not dealing with that feeling is just wishful thinking, because this time will never come. We will always regret some kind of things. And for me, going on with life is getting punched hard, but also standing up, embracing the lesson and continue forward. The difficult thing is that we will never know in that specific moment when we do our decision if it was the right decision. But not making any kind of decisions is just missing out on an opportunity to find out if something that we will decide will make us happy, or in the worst scenario, that we're gonna have something to tell, an interesting story about this. In my view, life is really about making decisions all the time, in every step of our life. And it can be the small decisions in the grocery shop or at the bakery, or the big ones, what we will be in the future or what people we want to connect with. I'm not gonna kill myself, and you shouldn't as well, that there will always be some kind of things that we're gonna regret. The thing is that we can also just perceive it as something we can learn from, and something that makes us learn about ourselves and take better decisions in the future. Because we can learn from that and see what made us feel good or what didn't, what felt right or what didn't feel right. And very often I really find myself doing decisions from rationality and then regretting it. I just could have listened to my gut. But there's no right or wrong, and it really depends on the person you are. But definitely for me, one of the things is to not always just listen to rationality, to your inner rational ghost, because sometimes just a gut feeling is what you should follow. And because feelings are really strong in humans, this can also be the way to find a lesson in the bad decision that we took and try to categorize our feelings and our thoughts to make, in that sense, the better decision the next time. So this is really about turning past and present regretful decisions into future lessons. But let's just call it simple, because there's just like a mind change to perceive it as a piece of information for our next decision. Because sometimes until now I found that these bad decisions that I took didn't turn out to be that bad in the end. Of course, they led to a different path, but also to new opportunities and to different people or to different environments that I've never thought about before. And these new paths, these different paths that you maybe didn't find the best in the beginning, maybe it turned out to be good ones in the end. And they also taught you something new and lead you to where you are now. And maybe now you're happy where you landed, even though you did these decisions that you felt like they are bad or that you were regretting. I also believe that as long as you know more or less where you want to go or what your values are, you will always find the way to the right path or to a parallel one, which is not necessarily the worst one. When you put your mind into it and you always also believe that you will get you there, it doesn't really matter what decision you take, because in the end, because it's the process, and for me life is a process, so there are gonna be things, or there are always things that will not work out in the first place, but in the end I think everything will lead to where you should be, when you really believe in it and when you really try to achieve that. And as a last thing, we can bore ourselves with thinking what we could have done, that we will miss what is happening now. And what is happening now is the most important, because this is where you can change something. You cannot change something that is in the past. You cannot change a past decision, but you can implement the things that you've learned on this process, in this learning process. You can learn from the past decisions and make decisions in the present or in the future. And so in that sense, the best way to achieve that kind of feeling that you can always do something better every day is to see the past decisions as adventurous detours and life lessons. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found some value in it. I think this is one of the topics that is most important for me and something that I really wanted to share for a long time on this channel. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really makes a difference. And if you want to follow my path on my self-development, on my life in general, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button to get notified every week. And I hope I will see you next time. Bye guys.